Hi, everybody. It's time for our week ahead spread for Monday, January 5th through Sunday, January 11th, 2026. We have our three basic questions. What do we need to think about this week? What do we need to do this week? And what is the challenge that we face this week? As you can see, we have our three cards here: the King of Cups, Temperance, and the Ace of Wands. Now, let's see if I can get it right this go round because I messed it up and had to delete the other one. Just one of those days. What can I say? All right. So starting out, what do we need to think about this week? For that, we have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups stands for a mature person, a mature personality, someone who offers unconditional love, a good father figure. Doesn't necessarily have to be a father, it could be a mother, depending on who it is that's kind of in that position in your life. But it's someone that's considered a good parent, a nurturing parent, someone that's diplomatic, kind, sensitive, considerate, protective. That's how we tend to think of our parents, right? Is someone who's supposed to love us unconditionally and at the same time protect us from harm so that we don't harm one another or ourselves for that matter. Now, next up we have, what do we need to do this week? For that, we drew Temperance. Now, this is a major arcana card, so it has a lot of weight. Temperance is all about in moderation, being compatible with others, having the ability to be accommodating for others, learning to blend, learning to go with the flow. Also a healing sense about it. Now, as for what we need to do this week, I think that's telling us that we need to take that moderate point of view. We need to try to be as accommodating as we can to other people. A lot of crazy things going on in the world. So when you have folks that are willing to be healing, to be able to flow through life without going to extremes. And trust me, with all that's going on in the world, we need that more than anything. So it's very important that the things we do this week, that we focus on tempering our temper, being accommodating for others, learning to be compatible with one another. So these are all very important things to do and to learn about and to teach. And then we go into the final question, which is, what is the challenge? The challenge that we face this week. I can't talk anymore. For that, we drew the Ace of Wands. Now, the Ace of Wands stands for having that spark, inspirational, self-expression. It tends to be thought of as more of a masculine energy. Symbolizes virility, desire, confidence. It can even be a dominant energy. So I think as far as what is our challenge this week, I think that is, as we embrace and move forward through the Ace of Wands, using that masculine energy, which is just as important as feminine energy. They balance each other, the yin and the yang. That it's important that we are willing to ignite actions and passions in others to follow through on what they believe in. I think our challenge is to not just to become boring or ho-hum or not really caring. Those are all opposite keywords to what Ace of Wands really stands for. It's a form of self-expression, and it's full of masculine energy, which is just as important as feminine energy. It's just the different side of the coin, the yin and the yang. The two go together. And so I think that as we look at this Ace of Wands, it's supported by two dragons. It has crystals all around its headpiece there for the wand. I know there's a name for it, and I can't think of what it is. So it's important that we don't turn it into a bam bam stick, as Miss Nancy Jean says. This is a wand of discernment. It helps us with our desires, with our confidence. It tends to vibrate more masculine energy than feminine, but both are just equally as important. Put all together, I think that what Spirit is trying to say to us as far as our challenge this week is to not become stagnant. Try not to be dominant in our opinions. It's one thing to be strong and forthright in what we believe and what we think. It's quite another to be dominant, suppressing what others may believe or feel. And so I think that's part of our challenge this week, is to not be dominant. It's okay to be confident. But it's more important that we use this energy to not just vibrate with strong masculine energy, but to know that that is the yin and the yang between the feminine energy. It's also important for us to realize that this is a chance for self-expression, speaking our minds. You need a touch of that masculine energy in order to have the courage to follow through on that. And so altogether, I think what this is saying is that we have to give unconditional love. We have to surround those that we care about with our love and our caring and our devotion. We have to be temperate in our attitudes, our actions. We have to be willing to accommodate those around us who perhaps don't quite understand how that works. So that is our job, to teach them. And of course, we end with that Ace of Wands, which is there to remind us that all of these things are important. They're not self-exclusive of one another, but they are important. It's important as we go into the week ahead that we do so with love, that we do so with moderation, but that when it's necessary, we are right there ready to brandish our sword and say, no, no, don't step over that line. That's part of our challenge, is to not step over that line. Y'all have a great week. I'm sure it will be fine for everyone. Go out there and just surround people with unconditional love. Even your enemies, just send them love. Send them the feelings of love, the forgiveness of love. And I think when we do that, everything else falls into place there. And it will drive your enemies crazy, because how can they attack unconditional love? So focus on all of that together. That your ability to do what's right is knowing when to be loving and when to be forceful. And that's where temperance comes in, because she's got to create that balance between the two. You don't want to be a doormat. At the same time, you don't want to be a bully. You got to have that temperance in between. All right. Now have a great week. We will talk again soon. Bye for now.